Let me tell you something that might surprise you. A woman can love you and still take you for granted. Yes, really. It happens more often than most men realize. And the wildest part? We usually don't even notice we're doing it until it's too late. Until you stop chasing. Until your voice isn't filling our phones. Until your presence fades and we feel the emptiness where your energy used to be. That's when it hits us. That's when the silence starts screaming. And suddenly, the man we thought would always be there becomes the man we can't stop missing. Now this video isn't about bashing women. It's about giving you the raw, unfiltered truth from a woman's perspective, so you stop doubting yourself and start understanding what's really going on when she overlooks you. Because yes, there are signs. Subtle psychological shifts that reveal when a woman finally starts missing the man she once treated like he was replaceable. Let's break it down. If you let her treat you like you're replaceable, she will. Let me be brutally honest here. Relationships don't run on love alone. They run on respect. And the hard truth is, if you don't set the tone for how you're treated, she will. Women are highly intuitive and reactive in relationships. We pick up on patterns quickly. If you're the type of man who lets everything slide, always forgiving without boundaries, always available even when we don't prioritize you, always proving your loyalty even when we don't reciprocate, you're unknowingly teaching us something dangerous, that you're replaceable. It doesn't matter how good your heart is or how much you love her. If your behavior communicates, you can do whatever and I'll still be here. Our subconscious begins to treat you like an option, not a priority. And here's where it gets worse. Once a woman feels like she can control the dynamic, the excitement fades. Not because we don't like you, but because we stop respecting the space you hold in the relationship. We don't value what we can predict, and we don't respect what we can manipulate. Think of it like this. If you walked into a store and they gave you everything for free, how much would you truly value those items? Probably not much. That's exactly what happens when you overgive without balance in a relationship. You cheapen your own presence without realizing it. Now here's the good news. You can flip this dynamic, but not by arguing, begging, or demanding respect. The shift happens when you quietly reclaim your energy. When you stop pouring into someone who doesn't pour back. When you stop proving your worth and start embodying it. The moment you show her through action, not words, that you're willing to walk away from anything that doesn't honor you, everything changes. Suddenly she feels the gap. She notices the silence. She realizes you weren't just some ordinary man giving attention. Your presence was a privilege. And let me tell you something from a woman's perspective. Once we realize we lost a man who doesn't hand out his energy cheaply, it stings. It makes us question why we thought we could treat you like an option in the first place. That's when the regret begins. So if you're in a dynamic right now where you feel overlooked, ask yourself, what are you teaching her about you? Are you teaching her that your time, love, and energy come with no standard? Or are you showing her that while you're kind, loyal, and giving, you're not afraid to walk away if those things aren't valued? Because here's the bottom line. A woman can only treat you as replaceable if you allow it. The day you stop giving her that chance is the day she realizes you're anything but. 2. She remembers the things you did that she didn't appreciate. Here's something men often underestimate. It's not the big gestures a woman misses when you're gone. It's the small, consistent things. See, expensive dates, flashy gifts, and grand surprises fade from memory. But the subtle details? The way you texted good morning without fail. How you remembered her favorite snack. The way you noticed her mood shift before she even said a word. Those things leave fingerprints on her heart. But here's the twist. While you were doing them, she probably didn't value them the way she should have. Why? Because she got used to them. Humans normalize consistency. When you give without limits, when you show up again and again, it stops feeling special to her. It starts feeling expected. And this is where taking you for granted begins. She thought those things would always be there. She thought you would always be there. Until you weren't. Now imagine this. She's lying in bed, scrolling through her phone, and suddenly sees a memory, a photo, a message, a small reminder of how you used to show up. It hits her differently now, because no one else is doing those things. That new guy she's talking to? He doesn't check in the same way. He doesn't notice her subtle changes. He doesn't carry that emotional intelligence you brought to the table. And that's when regret creeps in. Because deep down, she realizes what she lost wasn't just a boyfriend. It was the rare kind of presence that made her feel safe, seen, and chosen. So here's the truth. If you've ever wondered, does she even notice all the things I did for her? The answer is yes, just not in the moment. She notices when they're gone. She notices when someone else doesn't measure up. And she notices most when she realizes that the man who gave her those little things is no longer giving them to her. That's when missing you turns into longing. And longing always carries regret. She plays it cool, but inside she's spiraling. Let me be brutally real here. Most women will never admit when they miss you. Not at first. Instead, we'll play the role. We'll post the living my best life stories, laugh louder around friends, maybe even flirt with someone new. On the outside, it looks like we've moved on. But the truth? Inside, we're spiraling. Here's why. When a woman realizes she's taken a good man for granted, her ego doesn't let her confess it right away. She doesn't want you to know she's hurting. She doesn't want to give you the satisfaction of seeing her vulnerable. So she masks the pain with distractions, attention, validation, temporary fixes. But none of it works. Because deep down, she knows the truth. She lost someone rare. And that thought lingers no matter how many fake smiles she posts online. This is where the silent war begins. She replays old conversations in her head, analyzing every detail. She wonders, did I push too hard? Did I make him feel unappreciated? Did I mistake his love for weakness? And the longer you stay silent, the louder those thoughts become. And here's the kicker. Silence from you forces her to confront something she never expected. Uncertainty. Women hate uncertainty, especially with men we thought would always be there. When you stop showing up, it flips her world upside down. So even while she's pretending she doesn't care, inside, her emotions are unraveling. And trust me, that spiral is often the beginning of regret. 4. The ego battles the emotion, and emotion always wins. When a woman starts missing you, there's an internal war happening you'll never see. One side is ego, the other is emotion. The ego says, don't reach out. Don't admit fault. You should have fought harder. You were right to act cold. But the emotion whispers, you messed up. You pushed away a good man. You miss him. You need him. This back and forth is brutal. The ego wants to protect pride at all costs. It tells her admitting regret is weakness, that apologizing is losing power. And if she's used to being chased, she'll cling to that ego even harder because it's the only control she feels she has left. But here's the truth. Emotion doesn't stay buried forever. Missing you doesn't just fade. It builds. It creeps in late at night when she can't sleep. It hits when she sees you in a photo. It stings when she tries to laugh with someone new and realizes the connection isn't the same. That's when cracks form in the ego. That's when the emotion starts winning. And eventually, she begins to admit things to herself that she'd never say out loud. That she expected you to read her mind. That she wanted you to chase her, not realizing you were already exhausted. That she acted like she didn't need you, when in truth she did. By the time the emotion fully breaks through the ego, it's too late. Because you've changed. You've pulled back. And now she's left wrestling with a regret she can't undo. 5. Seeing you glow without her hurts more than silence. If silence is powerful, self-improvement is deadly. Nothing shakes a woman who took you for granted like seeing you glow up without her. Think about it. When you first pull back, She might assume it's temporary. She thinks you'll sulk, feel sorry for yourself, maybe come running back. But when she sees you out there living, smiling, traveling, hitting the gym, growing, thriving, that's when it cuts the deepest. Because suddenly, she realizes she doesn't have power over you anymore. You're not bitter, you're not chasing, you're better. And women always notice when a man shifts from chasing to glowing. Here's why it stings. When you glow up, it forces her to face what she lost. You're no longer the man she dismissed. You're a stronger, sharper version of yourself. And worst of all, she no longer has access to him. That's when the missing turns into that pit-in-the-stomach kind of regret. Not the casual I miss him type, but the sickening I let something rare slip away kind. 6. Your silence forces her to feel everything. Men underestimate silence, but let me tell you, silence is one of the most powerful tools you have. See, when you stop talking, stop reacting, stop chasing, it doesn't just create space. It creates a mirror. And in that mirror, she's forced to face everything she ignored. The way she dismissed you. The time she brushed off your effort. The love she didn't value. Without your voice, without your presence, she has no distraction from her own thoughts. And that's when the questions start. Did I lose him? Has he moved on? Was I really that blind? And here's the twist. Even if she was the one who walked away, your silence still feels like rejection. It eats at her pride. It makes her feel replaced, even if you haven't replaced her yet. Most men don't realize this, but silence isn't passive. It's active. It's pressure. It forces her to feel what she avoided. And the longer you hold it, the deeper it cuts. That's why silence is not weakness, it's strength. 7. The truth about replaceability. Here's the bottom line. Women don't miss you because you were nice. They don't miss you just because you loved hard. They miss you when they realize they can't replace the way you made them feel. It's not about looks, money, or status. It's about the emotional imprint you left behind. The calm, the safety, the presence, the rare combination of kindness and strength. That's what haunts her when you're gone. And here's what most men need to understand. When you finally walk away in peace, not in anger, not in desperation, but in calm detachment, that's when it really hits. Because now she knows you're not waiting. You're not proving. You're not begging. You've moved into a place of quiet power. And that version of you? She can't reach him anymore. Not unless she changes. Not unless she rises to meet the standard you set. That's when the missing becomes regret. And regret without a second chance is the hardest pill a woman can swallow. At the end of the day, here's the truth. Women don't regret losing you right away. They regret it when the silence sets in. When your glow-up becomes undeniable. And when they realize the version of you they once overlooked is no longer available to them. And that's where your real power lies. Not in chasing, not in proving, but in becoming. The more you grow, the less replaceable you become. The more you detach, the more her regret deepens. So stop worrying about whether she misses you. Start focusing on the man you're becoming. Because the day you no longer need her validation is the day she finally wakes up to everything she lost. Now let me ask you, have you ever had a woman regret losing you? How did you handle it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your experiences. And if you found value in this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with a brother who needs to hear it. Until next time, keep standing strong, keep growing, and remember, your silence, your growth, and your presence are your greatest weapons.